Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Iqmal Bahari bin Abdul Halim. For the presentation of the individual assignment, I will be presenting about the future interaction between human and robot, and I will be focusing more on the Islamic view. Okay, before we proceed to the next parts, we need to have a clear understanding on what are the system used to create the robots. First, it uses two parts of the system, which are the AI, which stands for artificial intelligence, and AGI, which stands for artificial general intelligence. But the thing is that the AI is like a sub part of the AGI. So basically, AGI and AI is related to each other. What does it mean by AI? AI refers to the simulation of human intelligence in machines that are programmed to think like humans and mimic their actions. The term may also be applied to any machine that exhibits traits associated with a human mind, such as learning and also problem solving. For the definition of AGI, AGI is hypothetical intelligence of a machine that has the capacity to understand or learn any intellectual task that the human being can. It is primarily goal of some artificial intelligence research and a common topic in science fiction and future study. Basically, what the function of AI and AGI, basically they are trying to use the past data and data to create algorithm, to create a system where the robots will be using those system and try to mimic the characteristics of humans. Okay, for the next part is that I will discussing about the impact of robot to the global society. Okay, the first impact is that to increase the communication technology. Basically, the first purpose of creating AI is to increase the communication technology. In the past, we have Skype, we also have Facebook, and both of the application are using AI, and also the purpose of using the application is to communicate with the people around the globe. So basically, the purpose of the impact by using the robots into the global society is that it can increase the communication technologies between humans, and also it can increase the communication around the globe with the peoples. Okay, for the next part, the robot grew to the companion of human. We can see this part can be proved when in 2016, I think, there was a robot has been created named Sophia. It made the highland because it was the first robot that received the citizenship from the Saudi Arabia. It can mimic all the characteristics of human. It can talk, it can process the data by using the artificial intelligence. Okay, the final parts of the impact of the robot to the global society is that it can be used to create a cybernetic development. What does it mean by cybernetic development? Is that some people have lost their arm, have lost their leg, have lost their limbs. So cybernetic development is a development where we create a robots or a machine that can mimic some of the parts of human body. For example, the arms. We can use the artificial intelligence to create an arms that has the same function of a real arm of humans. Okay, for the next part of the final parts of my presentation is the impact of robot to Muslim. For the impact of robot to Muslim, we need to focus on three parts, which are Nas and Fiqh and Tabayun. Okay, for the first part of Nas, what does it mean by Nas? Nas mainly discuss on whether we can or cannot accept a robot as humankind. Okay, for that question, in the Al-Quran has stated that for a human to be born, they need to have the relationship between men and women. But the robots are came from the humans, human sign, which means that humans develop them. So there is no relationship between men and women to create robots. So we can consider that robot is not human, but we still need to treat them with kindness and also with compassion, because that is what Islam teaches us, to be kind to others, whether they have different religion or different backgrounds. Okay, about the fiqh basically discussing about whether we can consider the robots as a Muslim, whether we can accept that certain robots are Muslims. For On this part of the impact of the robot to Muslim, we cannot consider that the robot is a part of a Muslim society, because the parts have no soul. They have but have no soul, just like humans, but they still have an ability to think. So instead of we focusing on to accepting the robot as a Muslim, we need to have a certain regulation or a certain rule that we need to treat the robot as our friends or something like that, because we can consider the robots as a Muslim, because of course, for sure, if even though we can program them to perform solat or to read Al-Quran, but they still have doesn't have soul. And I think in term of in terms of Islamic view, I think we cannot consider a robot as a Muslim. Instead of that, we can consider that when we are trying to develop certain robots, we need to have a certain regulation or certain rule that is based on the Islamic teaching. For example, we cannot create and robots that is showing their aura. So we need to take care of that problem, just to get a robot that suits for everyone, for the Muslim societies. For the next part is tabayun. We need to have a clear understanding on whether to trust the robots or not. Basically the robots are not all the robots can talk. Basically robots are machines. All machines are robots. For example, the machines in the mostly in the factories, there's we call that's robots also, basically. And on this part of the tabayun, we question more on the part of the halal industry. What does it mean? What does it mean by halal industry is that whether we can accept that as robot, the robot way of dealing with foods are considered halal for the Muslim society. But the thing is that if the thing is that all the robots, all the machine are needed to be programmed. So basically, if we program the robot to act such a way, it will do such way. So basically, we need to program the robots with a function of that following the regulation of Islamic teaching, and that's the robots will follow us. And then will the Muslim society will try to coexist with the with the robots, inshallah someday, and we will try to develop more robots that will have the function of completing the task for humans. Okay, that's all from me. I hope you guys understand about my presentation, and thank you, and assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.